We'd like to answer two questions for you today. Number one, why would you ever want a backlit display for your next trade show opportunity? And second of all, we'd like to talk about how we think the Flare backlit display is better should you want to consider backlit for that opportunity. In answer to the first question, why would you want a backlit display? Well, compared to traditional displays, it can do this. That's right, it glows, it lights up, it's got flare, and it's going to make attendees really pay attention to you when they're walking down that aisle. So if you believe backlit is better, let's take a look at how we put Flare together. We've taken a look at a lot of the different products on the market today, and we wanted to build something that'd be a really great investment for you. And I think when you see how we put it together, you'll be impressed. Let's get to that right now. Let's start with the frame. The frame that holds us all together is very important because if it's not stiff, then the tension of the graphics actually can cause the walls to pull in. And so we've designed from scratch what we call a rigid wall construction piece of aluminum extrusion, which looks like this, that the graphics adhere to. And in fact, it is so rigid that these aluminum pieces can actually support me. I'm standing on one of the pieces right now. We put certain channels in it to be able to support this. We made it 6 inches wide to be able to do a number of different things, but at the end of the day, this lightweight piece of aluminum is enough to support somebody who's, let's say, north of 100 pounds and then some. We've got this great frame for you, but you know what? You need to put it together. Yes, it's true, but we wanted to make it totally tool-free for you. So we invented some really cool connectors and put together an assembly set that allows you to very simply twist, snap, and clip your way to ready. Next, let's talk about what makes this whole thing go, the lighting system. When we looked at different types of lighting system, we wanted something that would be long-lasting, that would be very hard to break, and also would run cool. And the natural choice in this day and age is LEDs. So we assembled them into strips and installed them in such a way they're in a high-density format, so we get a lot of light to illuminate the graphics which are stretched over the front of our frame. And that's what makes this particular graphic, the Flare backlit display, so bold and vibrant. One of the great things about the Flare backlit display is that it supports double-sided graphics. Well, what does that mean? When we take a look at this particular unit right here, we've put this together to install graphics on both sides so that you're getting a great visual no matter which way you're approaching it. And we were able to do that because we took this particular frame component and we built it in such a way that combined with the LED lighting that we're using, we were able to put graphics and support it on both sides of the frame, again without it bowing because of the rigid wall construction. A number of things work together to really make this stand out, especially compared to other backlit displays. First is the actual material and ink process that we used here. We looked at using dye sub, but we just didn't like the color. It just wasn't vivid enough. So we actually chose to buy a special printer to deliver Hilux graphics. And we actually, the printer was, it had 5 zeros, I'll tell you that, right? So it was a pretty big investment on our part to be able to deliver this. And what it allows us to do is it creates a very rich ink on fabric overlayment where the ink is very thick and it allows the blacks to be very black. The colors are very vivid. You get high levels of contrast and it really makes this system deliver the goods and really pop when you put some light behind it. Another reason the graphics look so great is because we've incorporated a feature that we call even glow. And even glow is essentially the way the innards are constructed such that the light is evenly dispersed over the face of the graphic. There aren't any hot spots in the top or bottom or corners. There's no glow of fluorescent sticks like some of our competitors have in their display. You get even glow from top to bottom. Another feature that makes the Flare display exceptional is the Invisi Edge. And that is a feature that we incorporated into our design so that we could have the light and the graphics go all the way to the edge with essentially no frame. So you're getting 100% graphics, 0 edge when you stand back and look at your display. Perfect. When you follow our tips for preparing your graphics, we're going to print them. They are going to look great. One of the things that you're going to really appreciate is how fast it all goes together when you get to the trade show floor. But one of the things you're going to want to do in advance is practice installing the graphics onto the frame. The reason is because there's a silicon back on the graphics that needs to get pushed into the slot in the edge of the frame. And frankly, it's technique sensitive. So what you want to do is assemble your frame in your offices, get out your graphics, and practice putting them on a few times. You will be so grateful you did when you get to the show, because when you get there, it will be pristine and perfect. Now let's talk about how we handle shipping and storage. We've already talked about the frame. We built this rigid wall construction. I can stand on it. It's heavy duty. Frankly, it's a little bit heavy. But when we took a look at how we wanted to put this whole thing together, we knew we didn't want to build cheap. We wanted to deliver something that you could amortize over a long period of time and use over a long period of time. Low total cost of ownership is what we were after. So we designed the pieces and the entire system to be able to fit in what's called a flat packer. And so we actually deliver this with the product. This is the most common size, and all of the pieces are designed to fit in here in such a way that the total shipping platform, okay, is actually weighs less than most of our competitors do. Even when you put in things like maybe your literature, some extra supplies, extension cords, things like that to make your show go. So we think we've really got a winner here because it's lighter to store, less expensive to ship, and it comes in a real compact package that you'll enjoy for years to come. We set out to answer two questions for you. Number one, why would you want a backlit display? And we already know that the answer is right there. The second question, how is Flare better? Well, hopefully we've answered that for you as well, and you're inspired to invest in Flare from Displayit. Because when you do, everyone will be able to see just how bright you are.